take you back a little bit. So that's when the first of 3 incidents occurred that made me realize that I was going to be in love, that I was going to become close friends. I was going to become close friends with Drew. So it was first day of work. I show up. I'm really nervous. We were working at McKinsey & Company, which is a place that hires people from like Harvard and Stanford and a lot of other places that had no interest in me attending. And so I show up and I tried to look around for my people. I was like, is there another Terrence here? And I saw this guy, his shoulders were slumped. He looked like a guy that could get me in with the ladies a little bit. And I said, well, let me go try this. So I walk over and I said, I was like, hey, I'm Terrence. He goes, hey, I'm Drew. And then I dropped a quintessential Boston/McKinsey line. I was like, where'd you go to school? He goes, University of Texas. I was like, yes! in my mind. Outwardly, I go, oh, public school. And he goes, yeah, where'd you go? And I was like, University of Colorado. And then simultaneously we go, football? He's like, yes. Number 1. Number 2, fast forward 1 month, we get to July 2006, and where a few of us were over at Drew's place. We were just doing whatever we do. There's so many stories I can start that way, but we're walking outside, a few guys walking outside and having the intellectual type conversation that happens often at McKinsey. There's a group of people I kind of just got to know, and so I'm trying to seem as smart as I possibly can. And at the time, the number 2 richest person in the world, Warren Buffett, was giving his money to the number 1 richest person in the world, Bill Gates. And so we were just talking about like the economic advantages and disadvantages and what they could do for the world and all this stuff. And at some point Drew says, guys, you're getting it all wrong. I was like, oh, okay, smart guy, let me hear him out. He said, they're going to pool their money and build the best transformer this world has ever seen. So giving him the benefit of the doubt, I was like, oh, maybe he's thinking about like electromagnetic, like you're gonna change the power grid of Africa, and you know. But then I look over and I see him start to. So I lost some faith in that argument. The next line, being the faux military man that Drew will always be. He says, our enemies will never see it coming. Number 3, June of 2007. Drew and I, like, we'd progressed in our relationship to a point where we decided to move in together.
Wow.
Love you.
It took me way longer.
It was 88 Corey Road. Fantastic place. We get there, we moved all our big stuff in, the furniture, beds, all that stuff. Our rooms were looking nice, and it was just like some boxes, you know, that we had left out. And we go into the living room, and we had this fireplace with a mantle. Living room, it just looked kind of empty. And so we said, we got to figure out what we're gonna do with this. And so we simultaneously, we got this, I think we both got brilliant ideas. We looked at each other and we're like, silence. But ran into our rooms. I was rustling through boxes. Drew, I could hear him rustling through boxes. And we both walk out of our rooms and just start cracking up because both of us came out with arms full of monkeys. There was a coconut shaped like a monkey. There was a Curious George doll. There was a postal monkey. Don't know where that came from. And there was a framed chimpanzee. Like it was a picture, like not of mom or dad or siblings. It was a framed picture of a chimpanzee. And we just said, oh, perfect. That was it. So the next month after that, I got a call from a director at McKinsey that said, we'd like for you to move from Boston to San Francisco. He said, what do you think about that? I was like, well, I just met someone. What's funny is, to get off my script a little bit, so this same guy is now a teacher at Stanford. I went to go visit him a couple years ago, and I was telling him about Katie, right? And I was like, so I think, you know, maybe like soon we're gonna get married. We have this child. And he goes, oh, is this the woman that you met back in Boston? And in my head, I was like, oh. And then I realized who he was talking about. So I moved. Drew and I have kept, you know, in great touch since then, and our love, our close friendship has grown even stronger. So this now brings me to, you can see how I feel about this man, to May of 2015, when I meet Amy. Two emotions kicked in. First, I was like, oh, this is a really awesome person. Second, jealousy. I was like, all right, so she's got the looks on me, so I can't try and flex that card. You know what? Witty banter. I said, it's going to be witty banter. She shut that down immediately. So I go, you know what? I'm going to crush her on, as many people have said, you realize how ignorant this was at the time. I'm going to crush her on pure intellect. And in casual conversation, I heard that she couldn't decide between Harvard and MIT, so decided to do both at the same time. I was like, okay. Well, that's not going to be any fun. So what I am proud to say is the third category, where Amy's also crushed me, is that when it comes to caring about and loving and wanting to see this guy succeed, there's no one besides parents, let me X them out, that I've seen actually be the partner in life that can help Drew and support Drew through everything that he needs and to receive that vice versa. And so, Amy, I'll say today that from day one, there was a little bit of this competition going on, but I'm happy to see you take away the love.
I won. I beat you.
Hold on. Dang. I'm not going to use those words, but I'll say thank you. Thank you. I want nothing more than to see this man become the true man that everything that Pat talked about before, for you guys to crush the world and do that, and I think that there's no one else that can do it with him. So, thank you. Wow.